Good morning, everyone. So, as of a couple days ago, I know this is kind of late, and it's overdue, but this is my official MEPS video. Um, I went to MEPS on a Wednesday. I was supposed to go on a Tuesday, but I don't know, something really complicated happened. Um, my FED waiver finally got approved. So Thursday I went in, I signed paperwork, gave my John Hancock on everything, which is pretty awesome. Because I was like, oh my god, this is getting real. Um, oh yeah, I forgot. I gotta stop umming it. This is not an life, this is not an channel. But I gave my John Hancock, so I talked to my recruiter, and I was supposed to leave Sunday to go to the hotel, but he said I had to wait 48 hours and it wasn't going to count during the weekend. But somebody said it did count, so when I got to MEPS and I went up to the medical desk, they were all like, "Oh my gosh, you're actually here today," and I was like, "I thought I was supposed to wait until today to process anyways." Like, no, we had you down yesterday. The hotel had me down for Monday as well. So everything was kind of confusing, but still. Okay, MEPS for me was really fun because I'm a goofy person. I've always been a goofy person. Now, my recruiter picked me up. I got to the hotel, which was really nice. Um, I was nervous at first, but we went over the paperwork and I went to go get my key card and I got briefed and I signed my paper, kept my pamphlet. I thought it was really beneficial to keep. Went into my hotel room. I didn't see my roommate and I was like, oh, I don't have a roommate. But then I saw another little envelope with the key card on it and I was like, yay! So I went downstairs and we just started talking. I talked to a young man who was going into the Marine Corps and then there was another girl shipping out. She was pretty awesome. She was going to the Navy and she was my roommate. And so we were really excited and we were just talking up a storm. And then I met another girl who was going to the army. I think, Amy, I think that whole trip to MEPS, only three of us were Air Force and one had to go home. So two of us were it. And everybody who was there was pretty awesome. We were joking around. It was only two of us who were over the age of 21. And I was like, oh my gosh, you guys are all my babies. I'm going to adopt you all since I miss my kids. Um, it was kind of like a vacation for me because my kids were at home. I didn't have any diapers to change. My husband didn't have to wave his stinky feet around me. So it was pretty awesome. I had no separation anxiety whatsoever. I was able to check in with them. Now dinner, we were all joking about dinner and we were all having a ball and I was just joking and I had so much gas. Like my stomach was hurting. So me and Allison, or Allison and I, shall I say, we walked to the gas station because I needed Pepto. Like my stomach was like blub, 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 and it would not come out. And so I had the chicken strips from the MEPS menu, and I had the cookie, but I didn't eat the cookie because it was not to my standards. So then I went upstairs and we were talking for a bit, and then I went to sleep, and I woke up. My roommate woke me up for the MEPS briefing at 8:30. And the guy who was there, he was all like, "So was the food burnt, undercooked, or anything?" I said, "Well, it was overcooked, but it wasn't burnt." And then everybody started laughing, and I was like, "I'm serious. Like, it wasn't black. It was just dark brown when it should have been light brown. You know, it was like Wesley Snipes. It wasn't Wesley Snipes dark. It was Tracy Morgan dark." And it shouldn't have been like that. It was really crunchy. Like I could brush my teeth with it. And everybody started laughing. And then I was so tired because I woke up and he got me. There was this joke and he was like, "How many of you guys like ice mocha lattes?" And everybody raised their hand and I was like, "Blah." And people started laughing. Oh, jeez. People started laughing and then he was like, "Well, I like coffee and I smoke a lot of weed." And I was like, oh my gosh, did he really just tell everybody that he smokes a lot of weed? And I was like, why would you say that? And he was looking at me, and everybody turned around and looked at me, and I was like, why would you say that? Like, and I was like, why would you say I smoke a lot of weed? And then I was like, oh, like really obnoxiously because I'm obnoxious. And ice mocha latte And then, weed was just at the end of it. So he started cracking up laughing and he was like, well, I guess it's a time joke now. So it took me like 5 minutes to get it, and it was pretty funny. So we all went to our rooms, and I went to sleep, and I had farted, and it was felt so good. My roommate, she didn't get mad at me because she was tripping out. So that was we woke up at 4:45. So it took me a while to get ready. I ironed my pants, I got dressed, got my bag ready. We left down and we went to breakfast, and the eggs were cold. And I was like, oh crap, I'm gonna eat everything. And I was like, and they're like, don't eat too much salt. And I was like, I'm fine. So we waited and we waited, and then we were all talking, and I met new people that had came in later. And we finally got on this charter bus, and it was nice. I sat in the front, and I was like making jokes with the driver and everything. So we were like, oh my gosh, we're driving, and I was like, brrr, oh my gosh, I'm turning. Oh, why is my windshield so big? And we were just kind of like having really a lot of fun on the bus. So I I was like the third person to get off, and I tripped coming on the bus, and I tripped going down. And we got there, and we were all waiting outside, and I was like, I was really excited. So it was pretty funny, and then we were all yelling, and we were like, oh my god, they're like, line up right here. And the guy, Mr. Gellis there, he was really funny. And he was like, good morning, everyone. And I was like, good morning. And I said it really loud and obnoxious. And he's like, she just saved you guys, because normally I don't get that much energy. And I was like looking at him and I was making faces. So then he got over with the whole thing, telling us no weapons, girls separate from guys, so that's where lunch was at. And then we got to the lobby and we all sat down and we went through that first of many of the same slideshow, which was okay. I paid attention, I was pretty excited and jumpy, and then we put our stuff in the storage room, and then we went to our liaison and turned in our folders, and then we went to the back and we went for our official MEPS briefing from the first sergeant, who was an awesome person. Um, he he was more happy this day than he was the day before because I guess that group of particular people in MEPS weren't favorable to him. So he's been yawning at like 6:08 in the morning, and I've been up kind of laying back, so I'm sorry if I yawn a lot, which I'm going to do. Three, two, one, oh! Okay. And we were making jokes and we were laughing. He was a former drill sergeant, so he was like, you don't want to see the drill sergeant out in me. And I was like, okay. And then the other guy came in there for the medical briefing. We were making a lot of jokes too, and he kept calling me ADHD, so I got labeled at MEPS as ADHD. And I was like, no, I'm excited because not a lot of people get to this particular step when they come to MEPS. Some of them don't even pass their recruiter's office, and it was a big thing for me. So we went through it. Allison convinced me to go to the bathroom. We got in trouble, but I ended up drinking water, peeing later. Um, so then we went and we sat down after our briefing, and we went to the medical officer and we sat down for the briefing. After the briefing, ooh, I'm getting jumbled. We sat on the chair and we did our blood pressure test. Mine was fine. I only had to take it one time because I was excited. When I'm excited, I'm calm. So then we sat in the chair, and the guy that was after me, he was like shaking his leg and he was trembling. He's like, "Oh my god, I'm so nervous. I don't like getting needles, put in my skin." And I was like, "Just think of it, it's just necessary steps to just pass through." And we were all there, and everybody was nervous. So I'm crazy. I really am. And so I leaned over to the side, and I went, but not with my hands. Like I legitly farted. But the thing was, they were like these wood, not wood, but they were these plastic chairs. So they amplified my farts like 50 times. And everybody was like, oh my god. And then people just started laughing. And then he wasn't shaking anymore. I was like, so are you calm now? And he was like, I don't care about the blood. Just let me go next so I can go get some air. And so he wasn't nervous anymore. Everybody was relaxed, and we were just talking about me farting. So a lot of people thanked me because they were scared at first, but then after I did that, everybody was laughing the rest of the day because I was the girl that farted and did not care. I was like, I'm married, I got kids, I don't care anymore. And I got my blood taken, and the nurse, she was really nice, and she was stationed where my husband was stationed, when her husband was in the army. And I was like, yeah, all the nurses love me because I know the exact vein. And she's like, squeeze your arm. I said, I don't have to, just let it go. And she's like, oh my gosh, you're so right. So I have this perfect vein, like right here. And if I squeeze, see that? I'm pretty sure you can if your eyes are fine enough. So I got my blood taken, and then I went to the chief medical officer, and she was such an angel. We had a great conversation. I passed with flying colors, and then I had to pee. So I was sitting there, and I had my knees together, and I was walking around, and she's like, "We'll find someone to, go to the bathroom." So I went to the little waiting area, which was really comfortable. Had a nice leather couch, and I sat down, and Allison was there, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to pee. So they finally let us in, and I was running around the bathroom. I was literally like running around. And she's like, here's the cup, you know what to do? I said, yes, I've done this plenty of times. So I finally did it, and she was like, you're probably going to give us some more than half. We don't usually get that much. And so, trick is, if you don't want protein in your pee first and then catch it midstream. And so I filled it up the halfway I was supposed to, and then I sat there for like 5 more minutes peeing. And she's like, "Did you take the cup from under you?" And I said, "Yeah, like a while ago." And she's like, "Oh, you've been on there quite a while, so you must drink a lot." I said, "Actually, no, I've been holding it in because I didn't want to get in trouble for peeing anymore." And so we all laughed about that. And then I'm not pregnant. I had no protein and no sugar in my urine. And we filled out the paperwork. I had a lot of signing. And then we sat down and we all just waited to do our, you know, that part that everybody dreads. I don't know why. I'm extremely comfortable with my body. So when it came time to get up in there and get down to the skivvies, I got down to my skivvies. And we were all, I made the other girls feel comfortable because I was like, imagine you're going to go to basic training and you're going to have to be naked in front of like 50, maybe more of the girls. So get over it. Get over yourselves. And they were like, ah, yeah, right. And so they took off the clothes, and then I'm going to do a MEPS exercise video, and I'll show you all the maneuvers done because it was never clear. They're in no particular order. It will be to some awesome music, and the duck walk was pretty easy. Everything was pretty easy. Nobody failed, which was, and there was only 4 girls in there at the time. Then I went to my liaison after everything. I passed everything. I went to my liaison, and he gave me the paper, and I went to go get front loaded, and I went through the interview, and they asked me who I wanted to receive the money if I die. And then I went to go get fingerprinted, and I came back, and I forgot what I did. I know I sat for a bit. Oh, I went to lunch. On lunch we had Panera bread. I don't like healthy food. I ate an apple. But I had to do it, or else I wouldn't be able to have that video showing, preparing your food. Oh, I like this. Even though my hair's kind of hard and crunchy, it's still in regs, so it won't touch my collar, so I can wear it down during BMT. And I look pretty good if I say so myself. But yeah, so we had lunch, and then we went back and we waited for the other officers to get off lunch, and then we talked about the job, and we signed our papers, and we were ready to swear in. So I went and we swore in. It was 6 of us, and 2 Air Force, 3 Marine, 1 Army. At that particular time, it was at different hours we swore in, compared to the whole group that got there, but there wasn't that many people that came there. So we swore in, we signed our contract after watching this video and being taught how to right face, left face, attention, parade rest, which I already knew. So that was the easiest part. Like I was so giddy, and then it was like we were all thinking the same thing, but after we finally sworn and took pictures, like we were just all looking at each other, and we just did the same name. And we were like, we just swore in, and it was really fun. There was no nervousness. I was excited, gassy, not nervous, gassy. I was like, oh yeah, oh my god, my foot just farted. I'm gonna watch the video to see if I hear it. But he just farted, like he's just farted while he's sleeping. My daughter does the same thing too, but not as bad as him. Like he's like, brr. But it was all in all exciting. I wasn't nervous. All the horror stories I heard, I didn't care. I was like, I need to do this. So I can do what I need to do. I did my whole lifting thing. I lifted 80 pounds. I didn't want to. He tricked me. He's like, oh, it's not that much. And I was like, yay. And I lifted up and I was all super strong. And we chose our jobs, 1 through 10, the 10 being the general aptitude, and that was our wish list. And then I waited for my recruiter to get there. And everybody talked amongst ourselves. We all became friends and we wished each other good luck. And, told each other we'd see each other again eventually. So we went to my recruiter's office, and then I got my goodie bag, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But I made a list of more jobs, and he's like, anything else continuing down that list. I chose to direct ship, which I felt was best for me because I saw all the jobs I was qualified for, and I'm comfortable with most. And the other ones I'm not comfortable with. Like I qualified for aerial gunner. Uh, I don't want to be an aerial gunner. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do a man. I don't want to do that one either. I know there's quite a few I didn't want to do, but if I have to do them and I get selected to do them, then I'm just going to do my best and qualify to cross train into a different job. But I plan on becoming an officer, so everything doesn't matter. Okay, I got a bunch of goodies. I like to tangle myself. I got a bunch of goodies. And I'm going to show you my goodies. So here's my little, I only got one. I saw people got two. And this is the Professional Airman's Development Guide, United States Air Force Solicited Sessions. And I know my reporting statement, so every video I start out, I'm going to say my reporting statement because when you get this book and you sign your papers, it's going to tell you that whenever you contact your recruiter via text message, phone call, or in person, you will say your reporting statement at the position of attention, and they will allow you to come in. I mean, like, when you're on your phone, you don't have to be in the position of attention, I imagine. That'd be kind of like, hey, I'm in a position of attention while I'm on the phone, you can't see me. Don't do what I say. That's just me. Um, I'm gonna have one DEP call. I've already had one before that I went to as a guest before I got into the delayed program, and we're gonna play paintball. Woo! And I'm pretty good at that. Okay, so in other hands, let me get it back. Here's my U.S. Air Force. My husband doesn't call it a backpack; he calls it a stack. I got water bottle. I got my official DEP uniform, if you would call it that. See, I wear that to everything DEP. I'm not gonna wear it when I ship out though. I don't know if I'm supposed to. I had a protein shake bottle. See, it has like where you put the protein powder or you put your vitamins when you work out. So I drink Gatorade, powdered Gatorade. I put it in. I don't drink powder, but I put it in stuff like this. So this is pretty awesome. It has the whole net and everything. So it's pretty efficient. I'm pretty happy to have it. Couldn't ask for something better. But wait, there's more. Got in the fit water bottle. I got my little United States Air Force charger. Some sunglasses. Ooh, the Air Force got some sunglasses. I'm gonna put them on. Oh. Mm, mm, mm. I can see you. So there's those. I got a little jelly bracelet. Got a lanyard. I love lanyards. The little clip. I got a koozie. And got what I call a little me. This is like another piece of motivation. See? It's a little me. I call it my little me. And that's about it. Oh, and I got a couple pins. Um, took out because I've been reading my phone. So this is everything, and that's my next experience. Now, one of the other videos is going to be about the MEPS exercises, and such as stuff like this. And I did it, and I, okay. So I hope you guys have a wonderful morning. And I'm out.